Ladies and gentlemen.
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 Can I please have your attention?
Right now, showtime. Are you ready? Are you ready for start time?
Let's find out. Ready, set, go.
Ladies and gentlemen, get your popcorn ready, sit back, relax, because it's about time for Chatting with George Noonan. Oh, yeah. Welcome back to Chatting with George Noonan. My guest is Laurie Mayo. She's from Rhode Island. She's my concert wife. We'll talk about that later. But first, I want to get into you being from Rhode Island, Laurie. You're a phase ahead of us, I guess, with the restaurant situation. You've been able to dine in, or?
Yes, Dine In just started, although I have not participated and I have zero interest in participating. Restaurants are open at 50% capacity, outdoor seating. From what I understand, every place is packed.
Really?
Reservations for outside, packed. Inside, packed. My husband owns a restaurant supply company and my son works there. So his first delivery since the change, he went to a restaurant by the ocean and he said he couldn't believe it was packed with elderly people, no masks.
Wow.
Everybody seems to be busting to get out.
How do you feel about that?
Personally, I don't want to do that, but
Yeah.
if everybody else wants to, that's their business.
But does that make you more apprehensive to go out at all, knowing that now everybody's kind of thrown
I'm
caution?
totally apprehensive to go out at all anyway, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter 1 ounce to me.
Well,
if that's what people want to do, go for it. We live in the country, so there's not a lot of restaurants. We don't even have a ton of to-go options. We basically have 3 to-go options, 2 Italian, 1 Asian. That's it. So we kind of do.
There's a joke there somewhere.
Yeah, we kind of do every other week, one or the other. Last
Okay.
week we had pizza sandwiches. This week we have Asian.
What's a
And
pizza
that's
sandwich?
it. Like a pizza joint. You can get a pizza or a sandwich kind of
okay.
thing. But that's it. Other than that, we cook 6 days a week. I don't need to go out that bad. I'm a pretty good cook. The grill's out. I mean, it's just not something I'm looking for.
Okay.
So not for me, but everybody else seems interested.
So I should be honored that you're here today.
Yes, no, this is literally since the quarantine started. You are the second person outside of my immediate family that I've seen, and the 2 people at my new grocery store that I started shopping at who have become like my only social network is going to my little country grocery store on Saturdays. And I have the same guy bag the groceries, same lady checks me out. And I literally am like, oh, tomorrow's my day to like go out in the world.
You look forward to the
Look
socialization.
forward to just seeing my couple people at the grocery store. And that's it. I haven't left my town basically in this whole time.
What town is it, if you don't mind?
Situate, Rhode Island.
Situate, Rhode Island,
Which is a
okay.
small country town. We have like a little IGA grocery store. It's not a chain or anything, and that's my one stop. I have a little farm stand around the corner from there. Whatever I don't get there, I kind of run into the farm stand. One guy, me, that's it. He's my other buddy. I thought maybe when the pandemic's over, I should have my 2 grocery store people and my farm stand guy over for like a cookout or something,
See?
because that's my world at this point.
See, I've been to your house once, and I know that you have a nice backyard. You have it all set up.
Yeah, so we're making it work. We have nice neighbors. We hang out with the neighbors, stay a few feet apart, and
Yeah.
that's pretty much
Wow.
my whole world.
Now we just mentioned it earlier, but we were supposed to have already gone, or
I was
going.
trying to calculate the date on the way here. I thought it was midweek last week we were supposed to go to Dave. So
Yes.
like Tuesday, Wednesday,
Exactly.
Thursday.
Yes, I think it was, because this next year is the 16th and 17th.
Right. So yes, I was calculating that on my way over. That was my Connecticut vacation. I had
Yes.
2 nights hotel booked for our big Dave Matthews getaway in
That's right.
Connecticut. So
Now, they ran our show last couple weeks ago, the second episode of their drive-in was the show that we went to last
Yeah.
year. We were in the pit, and it was pretty cool to see it.
It was totally cool.
Yeah.
Because as you well know better than anybody else, I don't think most of my normal friends comprehend. I get so excited in the heat of the show that I don't know that I digest everything.
Right, you have to watch it again.
I'm like in a whole nother world of craziness. So it was really cool to watch it in a calm, cool manner.
Yes.
Even on the satellite radio, I get the Dave channel, and they play, full concerts all the time. And so some of our concerts have come up on there, and it's really fun to really get to listen to it without all the overwhelming excitement of being in the crowd.
Yeah, your adrenaline's not jacked up
Yeah,
here. It's
which
just-
you would think, right? 39 Dave Matthews shows later, that I
Yeah.
wouldn't be in that space anymore.
You're a true fan.
But I can't help it.
Now, you've told me Stefan Lassard is your personal friend now. Is that correct?
Who, what?
Stefan Lassard is your personal
Well,
friend?
we're friends on Twitter, of course. Although, much to my dismay, he's always more focused on all the people who are fighting with him.
Yes, that is
And I
true.
kind of always feel like, why does he put any energy into the people who are poking him?
That's fun.
I would just ignore all those people and be psyched that all these other people are so into me. So I find it a little discouraging that his focus is always on fighting. And I don't even understand how these people are like hardcore Dave Matthews Band fans, which he did say to someone the other day, and I thought it was so true, because they were saying that they can't wait to come to a show and like hate on him.
Right.
Why would you go to a band where you disagree or hate on subject? I don't know. For me personally, if I absolutely didn't agree with your politics, I'm not giving you any of my money. I'm not showing up. But they, like the guy he was fighting with the other day, his picture was Dave Matthews' picture. He had a quote from Dave Matthews Band.
It was like DMV 41. I saw it.
Yeah,
I know
and
you're talking
he's
about.
like tearing Stefan to shreds, and it's like, okay, you don't believe in what the band believes in, so why are you on his page? Like, I don't follow people that I dislike. That seems
Keep buying my tickets. That's pretty much what he said.
yeah, but I don't get the mentality of those people. That seems strange to me. I don't give energy to anyone I'm not into. I'm not going to give them a follow or a like. I don't get it, but. So yeah, he has commented, and I've had an exchange here and there. But apparently,
Nice.
if I were more negative, I would get more attention.
Maybe that's your approach. Listen, I'm getting a little less attention. I'm starting not to like you. and
I'm
then
gonna
you'll-
come at
yeah,
you.
See, there you go. There you go. Now, another one of your, excuse me, not your obsession, but you're a big. Everyone knows. Well, everyone who knows you knows you're a big Dave Matthews Band fan, and you're also a big Howard Stern fan. And they were together. Dave was on the show. You must have been.
Please. You can't even imagine. When I tell you, I'm not joking in the slightest bit. For years, I have emailed, tweeted, written, emailed, every form of communication you can think of.
You're like Marion from Brooklyn. You're Laurie,
Yes.
Laurie from Rhode Island.
Begging the Howard Stern show. I've gone to Gary Delabate, like, please, you have to book Dave. And I did all that, but I know full well it was probably that Dave didn't want to do the show because he's very limited on what media he does. So I kind of knew it probably wasn't them. Although if you're a Howard Stern listener, you know they've taken some pretty good shots at Dave
Oh, he's
over the
bashed
years.
him. He's bashed him. I've heard that. That was why
which-
was my argument with you. Is like he doesn't even like him.
Well, I mean, I guess if you know Howard, you know it's endless conversation. You take shots at people in the course of the day. He doesn't really mean it. I mean, he and Rosie were at war. Now they're good friends. So I took it on the chin, although it was difficult to hear. And I would get tons of phone calls. Oh, did you hear Howard was making fun of Dave Matthews today? Like my worst nightmare come true. But the day that Dave went on Howard's show, it was like the greatest day. I mean, I was in tears the
Weren't you
whole
in the
day.
airport?
I was in the airport. I was flying home from Alaska, so I couldn't totally listen live. We finally had a layover where I could put Sirius on my phone and listen. I'm crying in the airport. I had to like get away from my family because they were completely disgusted with my level of excitement. Luckily, I could replay. I've probably listened to it 10 times over because
Wow.
that was like my two worlds coming together. And the fact that Howard seemed to really love him and appreciate the music. And that's what I had said all along. I know there are two types of guys that would get along, and I just couldn't understand why they wouldn't come together. And Robin seemed kind of smitten with Dave, so I was so excited.
Steve must have taken the kids to another terminal.
Well, Steve wasn't there, but yes, I got
Oh.
away from the kids. Yeah, I never go on vacation with Steve. It was just the girls.
Steve's not a good traveler.
No, not much of a traveler. But yes, that was an awesome day. I was just completely beside myself. Again, it was that level of excitement where I was just in tears the whole day. Couldn't handle it. But yes, it was literally a dream come true. I was tweeting like, please make my dream come true. So yes, that was an awesome day. And I will re-listen to it anytime it comes on.
Which is how often does he replay it?
Occasionally.
He does,
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
Best ofs.
I've listened to it at least 10 times through, and I would never shut it off if it came on again.
It's one of those.
It's
the Godfather of
two,
Stone
yes,
Clips.
totally. My two favorite guys in one. Can't ask for more.
Wow. Do you think will he return as a guest?
I would think so. I mean, yeah, if things get back to normal and he has something to promote, but I mean, Dave is not one looking for promotion most of the time. He's pretty fussy what he does.
Yep. And we
So.
do have dates for Connecticut, and this will be the first time that you, Bonnie, and I will be sitting together.
Right.
We've gone to concerts together.
And separated.
We've separated. This time we're sitting together for the first night.
Hopefully.
Yeah, yes, as long as it goes on.
I'm not getting my hopes up. I've had so much stuff canceled
Yeah.
that I'm not getting my mind too set on it. I want to see what happens. I still don't. I don't know that it's going to happen, but
Your restaurant's already open. Ours are opening. It's baby steps.
I
It's
think
happening.
we're going to resurge in the fall.
Yeah, so.
Most of the scientists that are analyzing it have said fall of 21 before there's a concert.
I just read something where the Mayans calendar was supposedly wrong and the world's going to end next week.
Oh, well.
Those
What are you gonna do?
Stupid Mayans.
And my Harry Styles tickets got pushed off to October, and I'm like, that's not really
I
gonna
almost
happen.
texted you. I saw that, and I was like, she knows. There's no way she doesn't
Of
know.
course, Ticketmaster said they would give me my money back. And I was like, oh, really? I can get my money back? Oh, yeah. The ticket price. You don't think I paid ticket price for Harry Styles, do you?
Oh, you didn't get them on Ticketmaster?
No, I got him on TickPick.
Oh.
You know how
they're
I
not-
am.
But they're not going to give you the money back. They're not
Of
responsible.
course.
They're not.
No, but Ticketmaster would give me face value for the ticket.
Really?
But of course, I paid, I don't know,
Yeah.
5 times that. So I did put them up for sale to see if someone will bite at them.
Some sucker.
Some sucker who thinks it's really going to happen in October. And maybe it will really happen, and then I have my tickets. And of course, I'm pretending like I bought the Harry Styles tickets for my daughter. That's the
Right,
story I'm
right.
telling, but she isn't going to any concert that I don't want to go to.
Now, how do you go from Dave Matthews Band to Harry Styles?
Oh my gosh, that's a great. People ask me about that all the time.
good question.
I literally listen to Dave Matthews 95% of the time, like no joke. I really have no interest to listen to much of anything else. But once I go from Dave Matthews, I go more pop, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Coldplay is who I listen to
phrase
second
edgy,
to
I
Dave. Yes, the phrase.
Phrase very edgy.
I would say I go to Coldplay next after that. And then all poppy stuff. Gwen
Yeah.
Stefani, Harry Styles. Love the Black Eyed Peas. Still super disappointed that that's not what it once was.
I saw them in Randall's Island. They were with Dave Matthews Band. They were the co-main.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, love the Black Eyed Peas. So yeah, I definitely go more poppy. And then the weird thing is, you and I have seen Foo Fighters together,
Yeah,
right?
twice,
And
twice.
Pearl Jam. Did I see Pearl Jam with you?
We were at the same venue, but I was...
Love Pearl Jam and Foo Fighters live. Would never turn up a chance to see either one of them. But I don't really listen to them. Like if I'm
Right.
putting together a playlist, it's not the same. There's something about them live that I love. Although if I had to pick, I would listen to more Pearl Jam
Then Foo Fighters?
than Foo Fighters. But love Foo Fighters live in concert.
Yeah, they were great.
But I was in a restaurant once and they had this Pandora Dave Matthews channel on. And of course I asked
Well, you
the-
downloaded it for him, right?
I asked them afterwards. I'm like, what was that channel you were listening to? The music was perfect for me. So they said, oh, it's just a Pandora channel. So I went home. I said, I'm going to make the same thing. Do you know that channel pisses me off so bad? It doesn't play enough Dave. It's like
On a Dave Matthews channel?
it's like 5 other artists and then 1 Dave. And I'm like, no, I want like 10 Dave, 1 somebody else.
Well, you got to say Pearl Jam, then you get more Dave Matthews.
Yeah, but then they give me too much of the. So I quit that. It's annoying.
Screw you, Pandora.
I do like John Mayer too. I definitely am a sucker for like the hot lead singer with a guitar kind of thing.
What do you think about Phil Phillips? Phil Phillips, he won American Idol.
I thought he was.
And he's just Dave Matthews light.
Yeah, I thought he was super cute and very Dave-esque, but as
Everything, even the mannerisms.
But I mean, he hasn't gone anywhere, so
No.
that tells you where
you-
that goes.
You said it all. Oh, so just kidding. You know what that means.
So,
Excuse
yeah.
me. You drove here from Rhode Island, and you are a big cow enthusiast. And when I say that, I mean literally a cow enthusiast. You have.
Gave up my cow time today to
I'm
be
honored.
with you.
I'm
I don't
honored.
do that for just
That's why
anybody.
I gave you the good seat. You're in the good chair.
Thank you. But I will go tomorrow since I.
You're not
gave
gonna go on the
up
way
for
home?
Today. Nah, my prime time is like 9 to 11. But
Your
maybe
prime time?
But maybe to explain to people who don't understand, it isn't
Because
just
they don't.
No, they don't. They think I'm a crazy person
You are.
now, which I suppose you could argue anyway. But I'm actually a cow photographer,
Ooh.
not just a cow enthusiast.
Strike a pose.
Although it is sort of a fine line, because even if I didn't have a camera, I would probably still be happy to hang out with cows. But the camera gives me
An excuse.
fairly valid
No, I'm
excuse.
taking pictures. It's
Just
art.
taking
It's art.
exactly.
I've seen your pictures do come out really well. I don't know if
Thank
you use
you.
a special camera versus your iPhone.
No, it isn't special camera. And, I might say I'm an amateur photographer, a hobby photographer. I mostly have the camera on auto, and it's really just about having fun.
Yeah.
And actually, the experience is half of the fun. If I get the picture, that's
Great.
like icing on the cake. But mostly, really, I think what it comes down to is like 2 hours to myself a week with peace and quiet in nature. I don't know.
So you're relaxing.
I'm
mostly.
Yeah,
The
it's
cow's your
relax-
excuse to be like, I need some time for myself.
Yes.
Go to the cows. Do you go
Exactly.
to the same barn all the time?
No, I've got about.
You travel, right? Where's the furthest you've gone?
Oh, I mean, I'll go anywhere in Rhode Island, but generally I've got about a dozen farms that are within a half an hour from my house. And I'm friendly now with most of those farmers. They know who I am. They wave from a distance.
You have to from a 500-foot distance. If I'm
Yes,
not correct.
exactly. But actually, a few of the farms have been even more welcoming because of my social media.
It's gonna.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good segue. Good segue.
Yeah, they definitely like the publicity of
Yeah.
me taking pictures. So the farm that's closest to my house, Pezza Farm in Johnston, they're super cool. They let me go right in with the cows. I just kind of wave so they know I'm there, and I can go right in the field. So that's 10 times easier. If I'm on a fence line, I'm kind of limited to, are they going to look at me? Are they going to come this way?
Yeah.
So I get a lot of great shots at Pezza because I have a little bit more of an all-access pass. And it's super fun because a lot of times I wish I had a photographer following me taking the pictures.
That's not a
'Cause
bad idea.
I'm like squatting down to take pictures of a little calf, and next thing you know, the whole herd is surrounding me. And I'm like, someone needs to get this picture. So, I mean, a big part of it is really I just like the quiet time with the animals and interacting with them. And then if I get a great pic and social media blows up, that's always fun too.
Now, when you say like I follow you on Instagram.
Thank
I
you.
do, and I've seen your pictures. Like I said, they are great. What's your Twitter handle in case your Instagram? In case
It's
anybody wants
my
to.
Instagram is Lori Mayo Cows and Creatures LORIMEO, and I just hit 2,900 followers, which
See, that's
I really
good.
don't let the follower thing.
No, that's good, though.
Take two. But now I'm like, oh, I'm so close to 3,000.
You want to get to 3,000.
Now I want to get to 3,000. And so I think you probably saw I posted this week. My first picture hit 500 likes within 24 hours, and I was super excited.
That's why I wanted to talk about it because
Yeah.
it's not like you could say, well, I've only had 4 at the most. It's you actually get the numbers.
Yeah, but it's generally a picture I wasn't sure about. Like I posted it and I was like, oh, I don't know, I didn't think the lighting was great on that one, and then it blows up.
Yeah.
So who knows, But the fun was the moment. I kind of say to my husband and my son, it's kind of like
My
fishing.
guys, I like that.
It's kind of like fishing to me. Like some days you go out, you get nothing, come home, it was a couple hours wasted, and then some days you get that big moment and you're like, oh, it was all worth it.
Your Moby Dick.
Yeah, exactly.
The white whale.
So I don't know. It's fun. I guess it is a little bit of an obsession, but I don't know. For me, it's just a checkout from reality.
Yeah, and they usually do that on Saturday, or do you do Saturday and Sunday? Do you?
I try to only go one of the 2 days because I don't want it to get too carried away. Kind of depends.
It's not carried away enough.
It kind of depends on the weather. And sometimes I'll hit one farm and get 50 pictures to post for the next couple weeks.
You always save them, yeah.
And then other times I get nothing. So it just kind of depends, but it's a little like the fishing thing. Like I'm always like, oh, could I be missing something? But I think people think I go out and I just always get pictures. And there's a lot of times where nobody's coming out of the barn, nobody wants to cooperate, the sun isn't right.
Don't they know it's lorry time?
I guess. And I really do. Like I joke about it on Instagram and Facebook. I literally talk to the cows. People will say to me, how do you get that expression? I'm literally talking to them.
I believe it.
I mean, I haven't gotten caught too often. Once in a while, someone will be like, because I'm in like the woods, Timbuktu. Like, who's going to hear me talking to this cow?
Yeah.
Every so often, someone will be walking, and I'm like, oh, I think they heard me talking to the cow.
Just say you're Dr. Doolittle. That's all.
But I used to work with this doctor who found out.
Doolittle?
Yeah, he found out about my interest in cows and photography, and he would bust me up about it. And I finally said to him, I said, look, at work all week, I deal with people like you all the
was
time.
Was he serious? Like, was he?
No, just
Oh,
he was
okay,
just
okay.
harassing
Oh,
me.
right.
And so I was kind of busting him back. I said, look, I deal with people like you all week. It's enough already. When the weekend comes, all I want is cows.
All I want is cows.
Just quiet, no.
That
no
could be your
BS.
autobiography. All I want is cows.
That's it. So, yep. So I gave up my cow time for you today, George.
That really is an honor. And I thought that to myself. I'm like, I don't know if she can do Saturdays. I want to give you the option, but you said you acted like I was twisting your arm to do it, but it was kind of funny. He's like, I don't know. I'm like, I hate my voice. Everyone hates their voice.
Right.
You're gonna listen to this, and you're gonna say, wow, I sound like a dope. But everyone hates their voice.
No, part of my hesitation was more like I think I'm getting agoraphobic from this quarantine.
What's I'm not
Like-
familiar with that.
like,
I've
now
heard
I'm
it.
gonna
I don't know
leave
what
the
it is.
house.
Oh, okay.
I really think that I'm like making myself a little paranoid to do anything.
Yeah?
And then I thought it through. I'm like, all right, it's just me and George. Like that's a little ridiculous.
And we are far away enough. It's
Yeah,
not like
but
we're-
I literally don't leave my town normally.
Oh.
I think I've just channeled my anxiety into like over the top.
Well, that's what happens when you get bottled up. You're afraid to leave,
Yeah,
right?
I guess.
I guess that would be, what do you call it?
Agoraphobic is someone who can't
Agoraphobic.
leave their house.
Wow. Now, you work from home as well, so
I do.
that's
Yeah, so the quarantine really hasn't been that much of a change for me in all reality, but it took me from already a little kind of trapped to the house to extremely trapped. Like there's a little town next to my town that's slightly more city-like than my town. I don't go there.
what does that mean? They have a mailbox and what?
Yeah, like they have a couple more, like they have a Walmart. We
Ooh.
don't have any of that. We have
Big
like
city.
2 gas stations and a country market. I don't go there. Like I'm really confined to my little town in the country, and that's it.
It's a good town. Like I said, I picked you up one time.
Well,
and
and I
it's
think
nice.
I've learned in this quarantine, as we're all learning things that we maybe never want back. I am sick of like dealing with the masses and the Walmart. And I
Yeah.
used to joke about, another crazy night at Walmart. I don't want it. I'm done. Like I have no interest in going back to any of that stuff. So I'm trying to sort of figure out what am I going to keep no matter what happens and what am I going to go back to.
Well, that's the thing. I think life will change because now there's more people that, you know what, I can work from home. So why wouldn't these people want to downsize their office, keep minimum people,
Yeah.
and just have most people work from home, come in once in a while, make an appearance? But like, how often do you go to your actual work, your actual building?
Normally, like once every other week, and then I maybe have a meeting at a client office once a week, which was before the quarantine probably just enough to break up the week. So
Yeah.
I'm literally not in the house 6 days a week. But I'm not looking to go back. My company right now is saying you cannot go to any meetings outside.
You Zoom them all? Is that what you do?
We WebEx, but same difference. Yep. And when they change the rules so that you can start going back, it's really at your own discretion.
oh, so you've
so-
got so you can do what you want, basically.
Yeah.
Is
Yes.
that good though? Do you really want to become a hermit?
I'm a little
I mean,
worried about.
where's Fun Laurie? Oh, she's home. What do you think she is?
Yeah. No. I'm a little worried about how I'm gonna maneuver that because I'm not rushing back to anything.
That's fair, though. But that's fair because you do have to deal with the second wave because now people are eating. excuse me, pollen, ridiculous. And like I saw pictures of Vegas, and nobody cares. They just, it's their right technically.
Right,
but-
right. And that's it. It's everybody's right to do what they want, but I don't want to be involved with those people. Go do what you want, have a good time, go wherever you want to
Yeah.
go. And I mean, it's not like I think I'm going to get COVID and die. I really don't think that. I just don't want, I don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And at some point, like even at this point we're at now, they've worked out some protocols, they've worked out treatment, the hospitals aren't overwhelmed. So, okay, if you're going to get it, I'd rather get it now than 5
Now's
months
the
ago.
time, yeah.
But I'd rather hold off as long as possible and have them figure out treatment and options and all that. Although they're talking about this vaccine now, like we're going to line up tomorrow for a vaccine, and I'm not.
You wouldn't?
No way. Oh, no. I want them to work that shit out with somebody else and get
Really?
back to me like a year later.
A year later.
It takes a long time. They're
So
rushing this.
You're prepared to just stay in your house for a year.
Yeah.
So you're basically telling me you're not going to go to Connecticut with me.
I mean, I'm going to keep watching what happens.
You can sit in between me and Bonnie. How about that?
That'll help.
You can take the middle seat.
And the idea of going to a show with a mask on, that's super depressing.
That's a year from
How am
now.
I going to sing and dance and act like a maniac with a mask on?
Well, it'll be great because I won't have to hear it.
You'll hear it.
It's true. I will definitely hear it.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I mean,
But that's a year, though. It's a long time. Do you know what you were doing last
yes.
June?
No, I know. So I'm holding out hope because the one thing I would want to do is go to a Dave concert.
Well, yeah.
Most other things I can let go.
This was an
pretty easily.
unplanned year off. Usually we know when we're going to have a year off. You can prepare for it. But this was just boom. We're done.
And I'm trying super, super hard not to complain on social media about stuff being canceled. It's like normally I would have said like, oh, I should have been at Dave tonight, but I just don't want to be one of those people. And I'm trying to be really conscientious that there's so many people out there that like,
Lots of people, yeah.
but their life is like a disaster. I don't want to be like, poor me, I can't
Poor
go to
me.
Dave Matthews.
Harry Styles
It
is
just-
postponed.
Yeah, it doesn't seem appropriate. But of course, I've had multiple trips canceled. But
Yeah.
same thing. I'm like, some people don't take any trips. I don't want to be the jerk who's
Right.
crying because my cruise was canceled.
That's-
so
But that's just it. It's like everyone's got something done. I mean, if the worst thing in the world is having a cruise cancel, you just got how much money back? You got your money back from all your
yeah.
cruises.
Well, I
right?
haven't gotten it yet, but it's coming.
it's on the
I
way.
suppose. Yeah, it's on the way.
It's like Ticketmaster. They have to go through every single thing, so you have to wait. It's like 30 days from a certain date. And
Right.
Blah blah blah. And
But the travel thing worries me too. Like the concert thing is a big thing, but not being able to travel sucks.
oh yeah, you have a cruise coming up. Steve was going to go to this
Yes,
cruise.
Steve and
Steve's
I.
the culprit. He's the one that started this. Listen, I'm not going to this. I've told her I'm going. I'm making up a virus. Steve's the guy.
We just had our 25th wedding anniversary, and we have not
Congratulations.
taken a trip together, just the two of us, since our honeymoon 25 years ago.
It's making it work. It's work.
Apparently.
That's what you call.
And so we were supposed to go on this cruise in August to celebrate our 25th anniversary, canceled.
This August.
So I have a little backup plan, but I'm kind of waiting to see where the virus lands.
Can you say it? Or is it-
Yeah. I still have the week off from work, so we're thinking maybe we'll drive like through Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, do some like really low key sightseeing, nature kinds of stuff, no crowds.
Sounds like Steve would love that.
But we'll see.
Is he gonna go?
Yeah, but we got to be in the car together
That's
for
what
a
I'm
whole
saying.
week.
He's not going to love that.
No,
You might as
he's
well
on
shoot
board.
him.
He's on board with it. He
Is
likes
he?
the idea.
He's on
of-
board for the cruise, and he had set out a virus. What's he going to do for this?
I'm going to bring my daughter and her girlfriend. I think.
Little buffer. That's
Yeah,
good.
I don't
That's
think
good.
we could be alone in the car for a whole week. I was nervous about being on that giant ship for a whole week
giant
together. I've been threatening to push him off the ship. So
for years.
for years, yes, I've had that as my. But now a few people have actually pushed their spouse off a ship, and I'm like, I came up with that years
Yeah, that's
ago.
right.
I
You
was
should get
saving
credit.
that, and
That's
now I can't even do that. They probably have cameras.
See?
Because so many people have done it.
So you won't even get away with it.
So I don't know. So we'll see. I mean,
There's got to be another way to get rid of them. There's got to be. I mean, just watch the Lifetime. Or what is the channel? The ID channel or whatever it is. I forget. But there's like 4 of them. That's all they talk about.
I don't
is
know.
how to
Everybody
kill your
keeps
husband and
taking all
wife.
the good ways.
They do. You have to be really clever.
So I
now.
don't know about a whole week vacation, but we'll have to see. But I am bummed out about the travel thing. Like they're saying Europe vacations like 3 years possibly before they're gonna think it's a good
Why?
idea.
Why 3 years?
Well, between the plane, I'm petrified now to get on a plane because I don't want to get sick. Europe, some parts don't have as good a control as we do, and I was planning to go to Greece next summer, so I don't think that's happening. But
Go to Greece 2. That's the sequel. I don't know if you know.
the sequel's never as good.
No, you're right, except for The Godfather. But yes, you're right.
So I'm thinking maybe just more American travel. But then I think everyone's going to do that. I'm going to go to Montana, and there's going to be 4,000 people there. So I don't know.
does Montana even have room for 4,000 people?
I don't know. I feel like
Oh, they have the room. They just don't have the population, right?
everyone's going to flock to all these places in
Going to
America
Montana.
now. So I don't know, but I'm definitely going to be afraid to fly until probably a vaccine which
comes out. I just booked a flight to my mother's in New York.
In where?
New York.
Why are you flying to New York? That's so cool.
Because that's where she lives. What do you mean it's so close? What do you, like,
Just drive.
It's 8 hours versus a flight. I go every what's September? Labor Day. Every Labor Day weekend I've been going to my mother's. And,
Well, just wear a mask.
well, that's the thing. This was gonna be the first year we weren't, but she asked her daughter. She's over it now. It's so funny people's attitude. My mother's like, "You can never come. You can never come. It's gonna be like at least till." I always joke with her. Well, I'll see you in 2025 then. And now she's like, "I'm over it. Book a flight. You coming?" I called my doctor. She said you can do it. Just wear a mask. I'm like, okay.
Well, I say squeeze it in if you're going to do it because I suspect October we're going to end up back on lockdown.
Probably, right?
Well, between the flu and COVID, it's just going to all get crazy again. So I say do whatever it is you want to do between now and then.
I guess I'll have to, except for
And I'm still waiting to see from the protests and stuff, is
Yeah.
it going to spike back up? I'm curious to see in a week or two if we're going to end up with a problem. I hope that people who are saying the weather will help it, I hope they're right.
there's so many theories. I mean, you can't. What do you believe? I just believe. I don't know what I believe.
Right, yeah.
Every time I believe something, someone says, no, it's this.
Yeah, right.
So it's like, well, why should I believe you if I don't know?
I obviously err on the side of caution.
Yes. You err on the side of caution. Okay, that's a good thing. Now, what else you got planned for today? Anything no, tomorrow you're going to see the cows.
Yeah, nope, just hanging in the backyard as usual.
Now, I forget, do you have a pool?
No, but I have a hot tub that's on order.
That's what it was. You told me that,
It's
yes.
been a little slow with the whole COVID situation. And again, I've been trying to be careful not to be like braggy on Facebook that we bought a hot tub because I don't want to be that person. But
Laurie, the cow lady, bought her hot tub.
so yeah, we're waiting patiently. Our hot tub should be here in the next week or so. And then that's it. I'm set for the summer. I'll be
done.
in the hot tub. I'm also getting a projector screen. So here's what I'm going to do.
What's that for the
I am going to
projector
put
screen?
concerts on the projector
you go.
because one of the things I found I loved on one of the 2 cruises I've ever taken was concerts in the hot tub. So I'm like, I can recreate that right in my backyard.
You can. Now,
So-
how many does the hot tub fit? Because when I bring all my stuff and we podcast from the hot tub concert, I want to make sure that I.
It holds 7 people.
All right.
It's 8 by 10, so
Wow.
plenty of room.
Wow. So you have a, like, what, now let me ask you this. What concert paid for this stuff? Because I know it's the money back, right?
Well, yeah, the money back.
So you did well getting your money
We were
back.
going to get a smaller hot tub, but then when the Alaskan cruise canceled, the concerts canceled, I'm like, all right, we can double the budget
that's an
because we're
upgrade.
not doing one other fun thing the entire
And you got a
summer.
stimulus check.
I did.
See? And
Yep, add it all up.
That's what I'm saying. Like I was telling, I interviewed my friend Shannon, and we were talking about that. I made so much money over those 3 months because I got more. You get the unemployment check was phenomenal, your stimulus check, and then you get all these refunds. I'm like,
Yeah.
I couldn't wait to get back to work though, but because it's going to run out and it's going to cost
Right,
you eventually.
right.
If we keep getting these stimulus checks, we have to pay it back somehow. If I get another one, I'm just banking it and holding it till tax
Yeah.
time because you know you're going to pay it back.
Yeah.
But no, I did like you. I stayed home. I didn't really go. I didn't go out at all, really.
Yeah, the only thing that's a killer is the groceries.
Yeah.
Because that's been costing a fortune. But
If you can find them.
yeah, my market seems back to normal today.
Oh, good.
So I was like, all right, I guess except for toilet paper, which I still have 1-ply toilet paper. But when there's a lull and there's toilet paper available, I'm going to do like those other people. I'm sorry.
See?
I am stocking up on Cottonelle or Charmin for the next wave because I'm not going through another wave of this with 1-ply toilet paper.
And this is the thing. If someone didn't start doing that, nobody would have had to do it.
Right.
So that's why it's one person walked out of Costco with 40
But why
bags
do they
of
make 1-ply toilet paper? Who wants that?
Well, you can take more than one sheet. I mean, you can
Please.
ball it up.
It's a nightmare. I
It's a
can't.
night. This. Wow. Yeah, you don't sound spoiled at all.
Well,
this with the 1-ply. Oh my God.
That's another
How do
thing.
you creatures live with the 1-ply?
It's another thing I keep wanting to say on social media, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to sound like one of those people.
These
but
1-plies.
geez.
There are people without toilet paper. I'd kill for 1-ply.
It's too much. I can't handle it.
We'll trade. I have the stuff you like. We'll trade.
I'll take anything that's of any quality whatsoever. And my market, as of this morning, still had nothing of any quality. It's just
You should protest them. It'll work because now we can protest anything. If Paw Patrol gets taken off the air, then I'm going to start protesting everything. Because
it really is probably my number one complaint at this point.
no Paw Patrol. Oh, the toilet paper.
The toilet paper
Yeah.
is a big problem.
Well, then you're doing well if that's your biggest problem.
100%, yes.
That's awesome. Well, I just wanted to say, Laurie, thank you so much for stopping by. I also want to mention that you are a member of my other podcast group.
Yes, I certainly am.
I am a co-host of a podcast called the Hockomock Squawk-a-Lot. It's about South Shore dining and restaurant and all that.
It's very
many,
good.
many different levels of it, but with Rick Pesson, who will be a guest of mine on here, so I can introduce him to everyone else and maybe get the word out. And
Awesome.
He's a cool guy. He doesn't really talk about himself much, so it's tough to. He's an interesting guy. Once you hear the interview,
Yeah,
we haven't
he's
done
fun.
it yet. Yeah, you can tell a little bit that he's a pretty cool guy, but that's why I proposed it to him that way. He's like, "Why do you want me on?" Because we don't know enough about you. I want people to know more about you, and so look for that in the near future. And Laurie, I thank you so much for coming
Thanks
out
for
here.
having me.
I
It
am
was fun.
Honored.
We can always talk for hours and hours. Can't
That's
we?
true, and we would have if I didn't just look at the clock. You've said enough. You said it all. Is that what
Said
it
it
is?
all.
You've
Just
said
like
it all.
that's the Howard Stern line. Said it all.
Thank you, Laurie.
Thank you.